Major heroes who grew from failure. Tony Stark, the merchant of death who learned to care. Afghanistan 2008. Tony Stark's convoy explodes. Shrapnel pierces his chest. He wakes up in a cave with a car battery keeping him alive. His own weapons are being used by terrorists. This is Tony's first real failure. People are dying because of him. Because he never cared who bought his weapons, he just cared about the money. He builds the Mark I to escape, but he doesn't go back to making weapons. He shuts down the weapons division. He decides to be the weapon, to take responsibility directly. Then he creates Ultron, another failure. He wants to protect the world. Instead, he builds a genocidal AI that drops a city from the sky. 177 people die in Sokovia. Tony carries every single name. The Avengers split because of his mistake. Steve leaves. The team fractures. Then Thanos comes. Tony fights him on Titan, gets stabbed through the stomach. Watches Peter Parker disintegrate in his arms. I don't feel so good, Mr. Stark.
I don't feel so good.
You're alright.
I don't know what's happening. I don't know.
Tony fails to stop the snap. Half the universe turns to dust. 5 years later, he has a daughter, Morgan. Peace. Then Steve shows up asking him to risk it all again. Tony almost says no. He's failed too many times. But he looks at a photo of Peter Parker, the kid he failed to save, and he can't let that be the end. He figures out time travel, builds the gauntlet, and when Thanos is about to snap again, Tony takes the stones. He snaps, Thanos and his army turn to dust, but the stones destroy Tony. He dies surrounded by the people he saved. Tony Stark started as a selfish billionaire. He ended as the man who gave everything to save everyone. Every failure taught him, and his final act erased them all. Thor, the god who learned he doesn't need to be perfect. Thor starts as Asgard's golden prince, arrogant, reckless. He nearly starts a war with the frost giants. Odin strips him of his power and casts him to earth. Thor can't lift Mjolnir. He's unworthy. For the first time in his life, he's powerless. Just a man. He learns humility. He learns sacrifice. He gets his power back. Then Hela returns. She destroys Mjolnir with one hand, kills most of Asgard's army. Thor loses his eye fighting her. He can't win, so he makes a choice. He lets Surtur destroy Asgard. His home burns, but his people survive. Thor thinks he's finally learned. He's worthy again. He has Stormbreaker. Then Thanos attacks the ship. Thor watches Loki die. Heimdall dies. Half his people are slaughtered. Thanos leaves Thor alive in the wreckage, surrounded by bodies. Thor gets his chance in Wakanda. Stormbreaker buries itself in Thanos' chest. You should have gone for the head. Thanos snaps.
You should have gone for the head.
Half the universe dies, and it's Thor's fault. He had one job, kill Thanos. He wanted to make him suffer first. That hesitation cost everything. Thor falls apart, gains weight, drinks constantly, refuses to lead. He's depressed, broken. On Asgard in 2013, Thor sees his mother Frigga. She sees right through him. The future hasn't been kind to you, has it? Thor breaks down. I'm totally from the future.
The future hasn't been kind to you, has it?
I'm totally from the future.
Yes, you are.
I really need to talk to you.
We can talk.
Frigga hugs him. Everyone fails at who they're supposed to be. The measure of a person is how well they succeed at being who they are.
The measure of a person, of a hero, is how well they succeed at being who they are.
Thor calls Mjolnir. It flies to his hand. He's still worthy, even broken, even depressed. Being worthy was never about being perfect. It was about trying, about caring, about getting back up. Peter Parker, the kid who lost everything to learn what heroism costs. Peter Parker is 15 when Tony recruits him. A kid from Queens who wants to be an Avenger, wants to matter. Tony takes him to Germany to fight Captain America. Peter thinks it's amazing. Then Tony benches him. If you're nothing without the suit, you shouldn't have it.
If you're nothing without this suit, then you shouldn't have it. Okay?
Peter fights the Vulture without the high-tech suit, just him and his web shooters. He saves the day. Tony offers him a spot on the Avengers. Peter says no. I'd rather just be the friendly neighborhood Spider-Man.
I'd rather just stay on the ground for a little while. Friendly neighborhood Spider-Man. Somebody's gotta look out for the little guy, right?
Then Thanos comes. Peter ends up in space. On Titan. Fighting Thanos with Tony and the others, they almost win. Almost get the gauntlet off. Star-Lord loses control. Thanos breaks free. The plan fails. Then Thanos snaps. Peter feels it first, his body disintegrating. Mr. Stark, I don't feel so good. He's 16 years old and he's dying and he knows it. Tony catches him. I don't want to go. I don't want to go, sir. Please. Peter turns to dust in Tony's arms.
I don't want to go. I don't want to go, sir. Please. Please, I don't want to go. I don't want to go.
5 years later, he comes back. He fights, he sees Tony snap, sees him die. Peter kneels beside Tony's body. We won, Mr. Stark. I'm sorry. In No Way Home, Peter makes a choice. He asks Doctor Strange to make the world forget Peter Parker exists. Forget he's Spider-Man. Forget everything. MJ forgets him. Ned forgets him. May is dead. Tony is dead. Everyone who knew Peter Parker is either gone or has no memory of him. Peter moves into a tiny apartment. Alone. No friends, no family, just Spider-Man. He started wanting to be famous, wanting glory. He ends up with nothing. No one knows his name, but he's still Spider-Man, still saving people. That's when he finally understands. Heroism isn't about glory, it's about sacrifice. It's about doing the right thing, even when it costs you everything. Steve Rogers, the man who learned to compromise. Steve Rogers doesn't have a flashy failure. His failure is different, quieter. Steve wakes up 70 years in the future. Everything he knew is gone, but Steve stays the same. Same principles, same morality, same black and white view of right and wrong. In Winter Soldier, S.H.I.E.L.D. is Hydra. Steve burns it all down, dumps every secret online, destroys S.H.I.E.L.D. completely. It's the right call, but it's brutal, absolute. Then comes Sokovia, Ultron, 177 dead civilians. The world wants the Avengers controlled, the Sokovia Accords. Tony says sign, Steve says no. What if this panel sends us somewhere we don't think we should go?
If we sign this, we surrender our right to choose. What if this panel sends us somewhere we don't think we should go? What if there's somewhere we need to go and they don't let us?
Steve doesn't trust governments. He trusts his own judgment, but his judgment protects Bucky, a brainwashed assassin who killed Tony's parents. Steve knew. He never told Tony. And when Tony finds out, the Avengers shatter. Steve and Tony fight. Steve nearly kills Tony to save Bucky. Then he leaves, drops the shield, becomes a fugitive. The Avengers are broken, and it's Steve's fault, not because he's evil, because he couldn't compromise. When Thanos comes, the Avengers are scattered, divided, weak. Half the universe dies. In Endgame, Steve and Tony reconcile. Do you trust me? I do.
You trust me? I do.
Steve finally learned. You can stand on principle, but if you stand alone, you lose everything. After they win, Steve goes back, lives the life he always wanted with Peggy, then he returns. Old. He passes the shield to Sam. Steve Rogers never stopped being Captain America, but he learned that being right isn't enough. You need your team. You need trust. Natasha Romanoff, the spy who carried the red in her ledger. Natasha Romanoff was raised in the Red Room, trained to be a weapon, an assassin. She killed for the Soviet Union, for the KGB, for anyone who gave orders. Then came Budapest. S.H.I.E.L.D. Wanted the Red Room destroyed, wanted General Drykoff eliminated. They sent Clint Barton to kill Natasha first, but Clint made a different choice. He spared her, gave her a chance. Natasha and Clint rigged explosives in a Budapest hotel. Drykoff was the target, but his daughter Antonia was there too, inside the building. Natasha saw her, a young girl, innocent. Natasha detonated anyway. The building exploded. Natasha believes she killed Dreykov, but she knew for certain she killed his daughter. An innocent child died because of her. Collateral damage in a mission to do the right thing? That weight never left. In the Avengers, Loki taunts her. Dreykov's daughter, São Paulo, the hospital fire, can you wipe out that much red?
Can you wipe out that much red? Dreykov's daughter, Sao Paulo, the hospital fire.
Natasha acts like it doesn't affect her. But it does. She tells Loki she has red in her ledger. She wants to wipe it out. That's why she joined the Avengers. That's why she fights. Years later in Black Widow, Natasha learns the truth. Dreykov survived. The Red Room never shut down. And Antonia didn't die. She was turned into Taskmaster, a brainwashed weapon controlled by her own father. Natasha destroyed the Red Room, freed the widows, freed Antonia. She finally wiped some of the red from her ledger. Then came Vormir. The Soul Stone required a sacrifice. A soul for a soul. Clint tried to jump. But Natasha fought him, pushed him back. She sacrificed herself. Not because she wanted to die, because she saw a chance to save everyone. To bring back half the universe. To finally balance the ledger completely. Natasha Romanoff started as an assassin with blood on her hands. She spent her entire life trying to make up for what she'd done. And in the end, she gave everything to save the world. Her failure wasn't just one mission. It was a lifetime of being used as a weapon. But she chose to become a hero instead. And that choice cost her everything. Doctor Strange, the surgeon who had to lose everything. Dr. Stephen Strange is the best neurosurgeon in the world. He knows it. He's arrogant, dismissive. He only takes cases that make him famous. Then comes the car crash. He's speeding in the rain, looking at x-rays on his phone. The car flips. His hands are destroyed. 11 surgeries, experimental procedures. He spends every cent. Nothing works. His career is over. Christine offers him a job teaching. You could help thousands of people. As a second-rate doctor, that's not me. He's still arrogant, still convinced his value comes from being the best. He finds Kamar-Taj, the Ancient One, magic. He thinks it's another fix, another way to get back what he lost. The only thing that ever mattered to you is yourself. Strange learns magic, but he learns it like medicine. Rules, formulas. He masters it quickly, because he's Stephen Strange. Then the Ancient One dies. Strange has to defend the Sanctum, protect the world. He stops Dormammu by trapping himself in a time loop, dying over and over, thousands of times. Dormammu kills him in every horrible way imaginable, but Strange keeps coming back. I've come to bargain. It's the first truly selfless thing he's done. In Infinity War, Strange sees 14 million futures, only one where they win. He gives Thanos the Time Stone to save Tony's life. Strange dies in the snap, but 5 years later, he returns. He tells Tony there's only one way. Tony snaps. Tony dies. Strange could have stopped it, but this was the only path to victory. Doctor Strange started obsessed with his own greatness. He ended up orchestrating a plan that saved the universe but killed his ally. He learned the hardest lesson. It's not about you. It's never about you. 5 heroes, 5 different failures. Tony built a monster. Thor hesitated. Peter wanted glory. Steve couldn't compromise. Strange was too arrogant. But every failure taught them. Every loss shaped them. They didn't become heroes because they were perfect. They became heroes because they failed and kept going. The MCU doesn't celebrate flawless champions. It shows us broken people who learn from their mistakes, who carry their guilt, who sacrifice anyway. That's what makes them heroes. Not their powers, their failures, and what they do after. Which hero's journey hit you the hardest? And what failure taught you the most? Comment below and let us know. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more MCU breakdowns. See you in the next one.